Okay, we'll go ahead and call to order the June 9th, 2026 meeting of the Southfield County Council. First up on Josh, it's the minutes of prior meetings of the Town Council.
I'll move that we table the minutes.
Second.
Okay, so move the second to table the May 2026 meeting minutes to the July 2026 meeting. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Okay, superintendent's report.
You all have a copy. I've only got one bid for track field. Tried to work on the second. Just in that.
It's the same one I did last time.
And the guy that did it last time, he did a good job. But just couldn't do a detailed bid. He gave me one number which is cheaper than this, but it's very vague on what it even is. It's not as much as it's included in this. But this is all separate in case you guys will look at it and pick certain ones out. If you want to set them out and leave it to my discretion, pick the worst ones.
So what, did he just go around and look, or did you give him?
This list is between Bobby and myself, and actually,
Well, I think a big priority is protecting our investment in the roads that we spend all the money.
Yeah, the nicer ones, obviously, if they've got problems, we should deal with that. So that's true. We look forward.
So this was always Scott's big thing. This was,
Really breaking on the special counsel.
so, water can get down and making it worse. It's a way to preserve the roads. He was big on, we did it, 2 years ago. That's what we did.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, we should last year.
Last year. And it seemed to be pretty successful. It's a way to make the roads last longer. We have funding. We were trying to keep money for when we applied for community crossings. So right now,
No, I don't see it on this list.
I'll check that out as we proceed.
Yeah.
If it's got some cracks, it definitely needs to be dealt with.
so we can use motor vehicle highway, local road and street. And what about motor vehicle highway restricted funds?
Yes, we do restricted.
So we got 25,000 in one, 91,000 in another, and 222,000. I mean, honestly, my opinion is 36,000. I think if that's all we're going to do for the road this year, I think it's.
And it kind of splits, like we were talking. I was talking to Scott, this is kind of a 2-year thing. So if you think about this, this is like, like $18,000 a year basically what we're spending since we spent zero on it last year. So,
Does this cover the, what was brought up last month on 5th Street? Does this cover that? The comment that you talked about?
no, this is true. This is just crack sealing existing pavement. This street, it would involve like a full, like chew up of that road and then regrading it all down. And that's, I mean, part of that is when that new Main Street was installed, right? I mean, putting the,
Part of it is, I mean, the only thing you could probably do with that is not to build up so much. But it's chew a little of that soap off and let everybody get totally dry. So,
yeah.
so
I mean, that's,
I've looked at, they're not great options.
and anything, it's gonna be an expensive option no matter what, because you have to choose so much for back.
Yeah,
to
you
get the right
can't
grade.
add any after, then you screw up the flow.
So that involves like cutting back Fifth Street because we can't mess with anything on Main Street. So, but no, this does not involve any of that. This is just cracks in the existing roads, not saying any other woodwork, excuse me, road work.
Yeah, so my question would be, do we want to add Church Parkway, and do you want to go with, this guy who's giving an itemized bill, or the guy who's done it before? Have you actually taken, did he submit it? I mean, we're just.
It's on my desk, I knew it was so vague, I'll be there.
If you want to do it.
No, he's gonna go get it. He doesn't remember off the top of his head.
You said the number was less than that, they thought.
And this is the guy who's done it the past 2 times.
The one he's gonna go get. Yeah.
But we asked specifically for a detailed bid
Right,
on
right.
this one.
And I know his work, this dude, this guy, I don't know about the other guy.
This is from driveway guys. He's been sick, his brother's been sick.
They were the same one who did it before,
Yeah.
but we don't know.
We can call him again and try to get him to come back and, I sent him this exact quote without the amount, so.
Yeah, because this just says Broad Street to East Street. And then Maple Street.
150 boxes of crack fill. And this doesn't give us an idea of how many boxes.
If he does it, they do a good job, but it's not very descriptive.
Do you think there's even a chance that we could, do you think that we could table this and say, hey, can we get is there any more detailed description on the state?
I'm we're at this point, we're not being heard for to forward agreement.
Exactly, yeah. So,
Exactly.
I don't know if we can put this in a list, and obviously we're not gonna show them another contractor's bid, but we could put these together, like, put the descriptions together and say, like, does this price cover what this is?
Well, yeah, same thing, except the price amount, why you not, so you can.
Okay.
It's ready, can cover that and.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all in favor of that.
Okay.
Well, yes.
What was the amount?
That's
22.5. But I don't think that's.
We don't know if it covers everything that AD will do.
Did you want to add Church Parkway?
Both of these? Yes, I would.
Well, then, I guess we can we'll just kind of table that discussion for now, and then we can wait and we see.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Is there anything else you can do with the, superintendent's report?
Yeah, actually, a couple things real quick. Lewis and Broadband has approached us and we want to bring fiber optic. And I don't want to just turn them loose, shooting fiber everywhere and making a mess of the spice in the future. To hit that's a big deal. But at this time, with all the internet, with options, it's a nice option to have, but well, there's a big no-go fiber optics, but it's probably time to think about that.
Yeah. And I know that, I know with that comes, they're probably gonna wanna use like our right of ways and easements for that.
Right of ways, easements, whole thing, we need to,
Yeah, I, through reading this and then doing some other thinking on it, I think our ordinance has to have protections for us, like if they hit our utilities, that says that they pay for that.
yeah.
I think that there has to be timelines on, like, timelines on when they do repairs to yards and different things.
Yes. Abandonment stuff and like these issues we're having with cell phone companies, we have no way to make them get off these
Well,
everywhere.
because they subcontract all this installation, it's like, when their subcontractors ran out to my parents' ground out there east of town, they knocked like 3 tiles out of ours, and then they were there for the time to put it in, and went back to Texas, so there's like no way to even get, nobody even talk to, so, that. Yeah, that doesn't put that together.
So, yeah, she, Hope contacted the, I forget what you call it, the email she sends out to all these other communities, and we got lots of feedback and lots of ideas from different communities, but ultimately, we just have to come up with an ordinance and probably need to be doing it as quick as we can, probably.
Well, and I think that it's one of those things,
If you guys all want that, too.
I'm all on board for it, I think there's a lot of, one in the community for it as well. But if we're using our right of way easements and stuff like that, and we're giving it to them, I think we're doing something out of it also.
Yeah, there's permit fees, there's all kinds of stuff, we can get those bumps ourselves, but we're gonna have money invested in it.
Well, I know the church, for example, is gonna ask for lifetime internet for, their current buildings and any other building they ever build there, in their negotiations with New Lisbon, because they want to use like a 20 by 20 pad to put, thing on and stuff down there by the gym. So, that's stuff that we have to consider, with our stuff too, is that we're going to use that here, silent shop, fire department, different things like that, that we could, have internet put in there.
So you guys got nice town zoning, or nice town ordinance.
Yeah, a copy of my son's ordinance, I think if I,
Yeah.
it gets in there, it really fits us very well. So, kind of like to really look at that.
Yeah, I got two, there's probably others.
Yeah, there are others out there.
Yeah, I don't know, Rushville, has Rushville dealt with, do they have,
Fiber,
yeah, people,
Frontier.
I wonder if they have anything on their books that. I think it's just, go ahead, I'm with Jack, like, I'm supportive of, I think it's great to have fiber in here, and, but, yeah, it's gonna be a mess, and I think we need to make sure that we protect it.
We're going to keep it away from our water utility and all that stuff the better, because if you hit it, it really is a big deal. I think these days it's going to hurt somehow, back in the day, it's really expensive to make it.
But they're boring, most of this, I assume, if we have an idea of where to get to those lines, we can put a requirement in the ordinance that says you gotta be X number of feet below, so that maybe they're below everything, so we wouldn't.
It'd be nice if it's under everything we have.
Yeah. I would think we could.
I'm not sure if that's what's going on with Dunwich, anybody has to know that. They're mooring, well, I mean, they're mooring through town, and we'll see, I don't know if that's where Island is, the mooring.
I don't know about that one specifically. Yeah, definitely something to look into, and Julie, if you see if Rushville has something, and they look at nice town ordinance for us, and I just want to make sure before we set them loose on here, that it's not more of a headache than it's worth at the end.
So I would say that I think this is probably something we want to move pretty quickly on.
Yeah.
I think we should have something to pass in the next couple of months.
Yeah. Okay, good.
One last thing, our bucket truck has been a million ton over there for a couple of years. The problem is we don't use it enough. It's zero diesel, sits all the time. I think we need to look at our options, maybe talk to Noah if we could trade that one for a small gas bucket truck, 35-footer or something. All yearly, we wanted to fix the thing once or twice a year and hang it there too.
What's the tallest you need it to reach? Is that one a service?
35-footer would be plenty for what we did. That was a 55, it's, I mean, we need it for what we've done the other year. Ooh, a big piece of that.
But you're not doing full.
No, we don't have to,
That, we needed that when we did
right,
all our utilities.
yeah, we already sold the inner truck we had and all that.
Yeah.
It's been money, it's not, it's been more time in the shop, keeps, you get the fungus in the fuel tank, and then you got to clean the pump, you got to clean the tank, the fuel line, oh, it's just a disaster. It's not cheap. The only decent fuel to get fungus, but it does, you leave it sitting there long. We can put treatment in it, and it's back to the kind of crap again. You know,
Yeah, I mean, let's get an evaluation on it and see like how much it's actually worth and see what our options would be. And
yeah, I think the bigger truck, I auctioned that off online. Somebody bought it, I mean, it didn't bring great money, but that might be a good option with this one, this five gas or There don't need to be gas, it can't, because it sits this way too much.
yeah,
I think one more thing, I don't know if people will rent the bucket truck anywhere, I think it's okay. Like, only 2 or 3 times a year, maybe just go rent them or something. I'll check that out.
The only problem with that is if you, depends on when you need it. If you needed it 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday.
Yeah, there's been a few times you get called in for a tree issue, you gotta have it, but usually.
so yeah, I would say let's get an evaluation on it and see how much it, what we think it's worth, and then what some other options would be, and then kind of. We'll
It's
figure it
a
out.
1995, it's just certification days are over anyway, but it really can't be used for that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Kinda like whenever we picked the license stuff out at the fairgrounds, we just ran a look.
Hope for treasure report, you have anything for us?
I don't have a whole lot. One thing I really have is, I know we spoke last meeting about getting some new signage and stuff for the, work vehicles, the trucks and the, dump trucks and stuff. I did get back 2, estimates are on that. Brian Reardon was one of them. They are looking at more doing a magnetic sign versus actually putting it on the vehicle. And they're about $350, I believe. Margaret has sent us for $397. It could vary a little bit, but theirs will actually be coming out and actually putting the decals and everything right on the truck. It would not be getting that anything like that. It was actually physically on the vehicle. So this price quote could change a little bit. This is based on kind of her and I talking back and forth on like the size of the truck and things like that. But and this would take care of 4 vehicles. I'm not sure. I'm guessing we only need 2 trucks or stuff. So we might be able to even out or be able to get cheaper for that. And they're at $397. So.
Yeah, I think that, I guess I'd rather do the decals are a little more permanent, and then if magnet wise, anytime I see a magnet something on it, the truck sparks somewhere, or with a kid that tries to grab it on their garage door or something. So, that's just my opinion, but how much would we need to approve? Up to what?
I would say, she quoted this 397, and like I said, that's for 4 sets. It
Oh, we don't
may
need,
be,
yeah, we don't need that many.
right, and, it says include if you wanna put like our logo or the, you know, the tree or the bush or whatever that is, you know, part of our. Let it include all of that, and then she put it all together, and you can finalize and tweak whatever you want to do, so.
Yeah,
Sorry, so Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk about these magnetized ones. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I'm,
I kind of like the other side of the letter. What we got into with this before is I told you, when I have to go to Walmart, and that's when we do a lot of shopping, or any place we go, then you start getting phone calls about, hey, your guy, what's he doing at Walmart? It happened a lot back then. So I told them I prefer not to put one in my truck. The 2 dump trucks, I don't mind, because they're always out in front of somebody's house, I get that. When Bobby takes my truck here, at some point, he won't be sorry either.
I mean, as far as leak, I mean, I guess I can see both sides, with what you're saying, you know, if it's on there, then it's on there. Nobody's gonna be able to mess with it. The difference is, I guess, with the magnet is if you change, if vehicles change, you don't have to buy a new decal. What I've seen of those is that they usually stay on pretty good, but they can come off too. The magnets can come off.
I mean, I don't think it'd be that compromising to do, I mean, rarely is your truck ever just sitting in front of somebody's house with a door before. So, I mean, like, if a compromise would be 2 dump trucks, we get we get something permanent for it, and then for your truck, since it really doesn't go out long. It's not ever really sitting in front of it.
I'm on Jack, I don't do what I do.
Yeah, so it's, I don't think we'll get the questions on that. So, I mean, as long as we do that and we get the magnets and when we're using it for town, that, you know, we make sure to swap them on there, then, yeah, then I think that's just a good compromise right there. So, and I don't know, do you guys want to do the little logo? That's part of the logo and everything else?
Yeah.
So.
Just up for the people that see.
I can have it set both ways, and then we can decide.
Yeah.
What
So what's it, so that tells us what the logo and everything, what is that?
397.07, and she said it could change a little bit, depending on if you have to go bigger on size or.
And Brian Crane was walk through can Martin make magnetized ones?
Yes, she can make access to it. She didn't, I don't think she quoted me that one,
What Brian have? One?
I don't know what it says graphics is 22, and then she's got 5 graphics for trucks at $70, and then 2 magnetic signs at $46.
Okay, so it's supposed to,
Yes.
why don't we just blanket, and I'll make a motion that we blanket approve $500 for use of folks, at Hope's discretion to get these graphics made, whatever turns out to be the cheapest invoice combination possible. And, knowing that, you know, probably won't use all that, since we're not doing 4 trucks and we're doing these magnets and everything. But, is there a second to approve up to $500? Okay?
I'll say.
Okay, so moved and seconded to approve up to $500 for Hope to spend at her discretion on these decals for town trucks. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion passes. So I hope you don't come back and bother us with it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to do that.
Right, yeah. Okay, sounds great. I'll get on that then. That's all.
Okay. Do we have any discussion, or official action on claims here?
Move to approve the claims as presented.
Is there a second? Second. So, put it up for 2 seconds. It's a move and seconded to approve the claims as presented. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, does the council have any old business we need to act on from prior meetings? If I put the spaces on the table.
Put some water down there.
One thing we previously, I don't know if we discussed it, it might have been, was it April or May? I'd like to think about, it was brought up on the back alleys, putting stop signs there, especially like these are like line intersections, because we have so many golf carts going by and everything, there's people that just blow through those. And I watched one happen like almost behind my house last fall. So, I don't know. I got a couple, I can tell Bobby on some intersections, I don't know if we put some yield signs, or we put some stop signs, or what we do.
This road here has to go where you stop. That's obvious because of that barn sitting there, so it's very blind right there. I mean, if it's really blind like that, I just like the idea of the vehicle.
Yeah, and make it one less, so
Especially since we made that alley so nice, everybody goes flying down.
so then there's another barn just further down to the east there, that's a blind one, if they're coming off.
We can get ready.
So, we can talk about that.
Yeah, you guys, I think you guys would look at that. Take that official. I'll look at those and we'll get a list of that.
Okay, is there any other old business for previous meeting council needs to discuss? Okay, seeing none, we have any new business. That we need to discuss.
So I want to bring up the fact that Fitch gone, that leaves, council appointment to plan commission. So we need to fill this spot. So we have a planning commission, that we just started. And there's 3 representatives in town council on it, along with citizens, including ladies and stuff. With Fitch being gone, now we need you 3. So anyone interested?
Like he's looking at that.
We're already.
Yeah, we're already.
So we need one of you 3. Once a month, we meet for a couple hours. And we are currently working on putting together a zoning ordinance with that. Not a huge commitment. Because what's your experience been like?
Oh, we figured out things, and it's usually we're down to an hour. Yeah, it's not, it depends on when we start having to bring in people who want to, do anything.
Yeah. So, if you don't have to make the appointment tonight, but is anybody interested in this? Robert dies.
Looking straight to that,
I mean, if I was saying, I would think that somebody who's got experience with real estate, might know what they do about.
Leave me out.
So, my question would be, is there going to be a board of zoning appeal? Because I've been on the BZA before.
We have not made that, yet, because we don't have an ordinance in place, so there was some kind of hurry to do that, but yes, we will be at some time.
It's still in the process of creating.
We have, but the plan commission is in place, we're still writing an ordinance. So it's not that in info, when it gets to a certain shape, then it'll come to the full board to consider the facts.
And the appeals board will be made up.
I think it's mostly, if I remember right, I think it's mostly, citizens.
Yeah. That was my experience.
Yeah.
So the decision doesn't have to be made at this.
I guess it doesn't have to be made tonight, everybody's one of the, we're all gonna with that one, so.
They want to marinate on it for a month and see what they think, and then possibly.
We're just waiting until the camera's off, and people are gone, and we'll twist some arms. We usually do comments when you say things.
It's one of those things that, I mean, you don't wanna put it all off, because we got, you know, we
Right.
definitely wanna get.
We still have enough people that we can continue to move forward, but it's like anything else, when you have a member missing, it makes acting quorum always difficult.
So, when we say what, in July meeting.
Yep.
And we'll put some arms and we
Put some arms.
Marinated,
marinate.
I mean, marinated, that's in the table, because Robert's not there.
Okay, is there any new business that the board needs to bring up, because they don't have any new business? The other news. Okay. So now we'll move on to audience questions and comments. So doing so far. I'm good. Just, you're just observing, making sure we're all staying in line? Okay.
I have a proposal I'd like to make to the council,
Yes.
if possible. This is the supporting document of what I need, or what I'm asking for, and that's a shortened version of it. I live at 403 Payne, I live at 403 East Main, and what I, in basic terms, what I'm asking for is the short section from Main Street to the unnamed alley on South 4th Street to be designated as no parking on the east and west side. And the reasons are because I have a short drive, we have a garage which has a drive, and I have a short drive. And that short drive was there before I ever bought the house. When the new people moved in at 315, visitors to their residence are parking in front of that short drive, so it's almost impossible for me to get out of that. The other problem is that, as you well know, that 4th Street in that area is narrow enough, it's barely wide enough for two cars to get through.
Yes.
And then when you get into a situation of an emergency situation where a fire truck or something would have to go down it, and there would be cars parked on 4th Street that they could never get past it. I've already talked to Captain Pierce, the town marshal, and he said, bring it up to the town council. It was his suggestion, because without it being designated no parking, there's nothing, I won't say nothing, it's very limited on what law enforcement can do to get somebody to move. In two cases, there's been vehicles parked overnight on 4th Street, blocking my drive. And so, bottom line is, that's all I'm asking for, is that short section to be designated as no parking on both sides. Now, the other, I guess, advantage is that that's also the route for the parade, which you no longer have to do a temporary no parking in that area. But,
And remind me, that fence of this neighboring property of yours is really close to the road, right? So even if they get all the way to the fence, they're still hanging way out on the road.
Oh, they're not even close to the fence, because they've got flowers there. So they're right in the road.
well, somewhere in my past memory, that we were told whoever bought the new house, that they had to tear that fence down and, put it to the standard within town. Now, that's probably been 10 years ago. So that's the only thing I can tell you. I've spoken to the owner at 315, and they still park in front of my drive. So it's not like I haven't tried to handle it at my level. Like I said, I talked to Captain Pierce, and this was his suggestion.
And I know there's problems with them, that same property, walking the back alley with vehicles too, like half that alley has been taken up, and there's people calling me about that alley being taken out from parking cycling center. No, it's definitely something, we're gonna take serious. Is this something we have to pass, like a stop sign, like we'd have to vote and take it? Okay, yeah, so it's not just as simple as declaring, we gotta go through the motion of it, and then we give it up.
And it's your possibility, we're gonna have to have no parking on both sides.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then we have to go through the correct way of designating that a no parking here. We can't just go tonight and think about it tomorrow. So,
in the documentation there was photographs of what I'm talking about, so, and times and dates and that kind of stuff, so,
yeah.
It's not like I'm just dreaming about this stuff.
No.
In 22 years of living here, I've never had to worry about this. Now, I have to worry about it, so,
Yes,
it's frustrating.
I understand sometimes you look at it and you just think, common sense would say you don't block people's drives. But
Thank you.
There's a lot of people that don't operate under, common sense. So, no, this is a legitimate issue, and I understand the problem we have here. In my opinion, there's another board room, my personal opinion, that's not big enough road to have street parking on anyway.
In all the cases that you see here, there was nobody parked on Main Street. And I understand that means they may have to park in front of my house and then walk on, but I can't help that. I just don't want them walking across my yard, but, you know, I understand, but in both cases here, they could have parked on Main Street.
Yeah, they wouldn't be blocking anyone's drive.
Exactly. So, thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
What's funny about that is, there's not a lot of people who park on Main Street Road.
No, that isn't.
Yeah, I've never seen Mark park there where he's talking about the over years I've been there. I think it kind of goes along with him taking a look at stop signs. I think it's a good opportunity to review the alley and all of those streets between, Main and Broad, and take a look at, how people are parking, the width of some of those roads, and figure out what makes sense on, whether there needs to be ordinances on any of those within that area. Not just this in this section, but maybe take a look at.
I will say that North Fourth Street is much wider, and even the portion from the unnamed alley to Broad Street is wider. Now, I don't know what happened in our section, but it's just a situation where it's too narrow for people to park there.
I brought this as well, because we talked about noise issues. This is a copy of our updated ordinance for you guys to have.
Yeah, we got that.
You have this, so you understand the times and different things like that. And I want you to understand too, but for a noise ordinance, there doesn't have to be a police officer there in the act of that. If you have a timestamp video of them violating this, then they can be cited.
And then my next question is, what is considered, when it hits 10 o'clock, is it supposed to stop? Or is it supposed to go quiet, or what?
Yeah, there are posted, in this ordinance right here. Hold on, give me a second while I find it. We state 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Sunday through Saturday, because it's otherwise provided in this ordinance, like, a day, fireworks, or whatever, as quiet hours.
Can I interrupt you right there? What about the time from 6 to 10? I'm talking about 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
During the day.
So if the same type of situation, let's just say loud noise,
Not just,
during the time period 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So is that enforceable?
Under this ordinance, I wouldn't think it would be.
Okay.
Really, because we just specified the quiet hours as the nighttime, between them. But I would encourage you, if there is, maybe that's something we need to revisit. I know that's something we talk about on the zoning board about, how we classify properties, because, if there is something going on, something that's work that's making loud noise that doesn't classify as residential, maybe that's something in the future we take a look at revising this. But right now, this current ordinance only stands for those specific quiet hours. And like you said, I'm sure, Matt has told you this as well. If you have a video of that, let's say Matt's hours for the day have elapsed and he's gone home, but they start making some crazy amount of noise at, 11:30, and it goes on, and you guys have video of that would have a timestamp on it. They can be cited for that as well as we can use that.
11:30 PM.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Or call the sheriff.
Yeah, or you can call the sheriff too, and they will come out and do the same thing.
And so quiet means just turn it down.
Well, so,
That's what I meant, that's what I'm wondering.
this ordinance, I mean, a lot of that, like a lot of ordinances are left to the discretion of the responding officer. And I would say that a lot of responding officers, if you guys, even if the noise is quit, and you guys have evidence that a responding officer is gonna come out there and probably tell them, hey, you need to take this aside, you need to quit this, you need to, and, it wouldn't hurt if you kept your copy of this ordinance as well, and, a responding officer, maybe more than that, or someone that's familiar with our ordinances, and you can show them this, hey, just so you know, this is.
Well, when he came to the house, we asked if he'd come and help us explain things. We gave him copies of them because he didn't have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, if you can help me with the parking, I will greatly appreciate it.
yeah.
And do we need to come, how would we know if this will happen or not?
Well, I mean, we'll probably vote at a future meeting, but I mean, if you want us to reach out to you, or you can come here and call over or something like that.
Okay.
And
Just making sure.
We can come to every meeting.
yeah.
We're happy to have the company.
I know.
We're happy to have Donnie. Donnie keeps us in line. He's an enforcer.
Donnie does good speech for speed, though. Yes, yes, that.
That's all I have.
Yeah, thank you guys for bringing that to the board.
Well, I appreciate it that you noticed that those aren't big enough for
Yeah.
parking.
And I know that in the past, I mean, that there's been some laxness on some of these ordinances, but I mean, we're working to, take these things serious, because nobody needs to, you have the right to, be able to enjoy your property without somebody else. So, thank you for coming. Scott, do you have anything?
No way. I mean, think of that.
You sure? Can we use the street day, sorry, not counted by the water speed through and everything?
Yeah, I'll get that thing.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, well, do we have any other audience questions, comments, or? Okay, well, seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. She said that she didn't want the spectacle made, but I will forward her on the record, our newest Spiceland Town Board member, Amelia T. We need somebody with familiarity on the far west side where it gets crazy sometimes. We're really keeping an eye on stuff down there. So we're happy to have her on the board.
You know, we're right next to him, dude.
I can hear it.
Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting. So moved.
Second?
It's a moved and seconded to adjourn the June 9, 2026 meeting of the Spiceland Town Council. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.